Welcome to another edition of BNL Coaches Corner. This week we will discuss Bedford North Lawrence football with BNL assistant coach Joe Hayden, and we'll talk to members of the BNL boys soccer team. We'll be right back with Coach Hayden after this.
For the best in exciting new cars and trucks. For the best deals on used cars. For the best in service after the sale, visit Bedford Ford Lincoln Roush.
Welcome back to BNL Coaches Corner. We are joined this week by BNL assistant coach Joe Hayden, who's in charge of the defensive backs for the Stars. He's been coaching with Coach Steve Weber for 16 seasons. Joe, thanks for coming on the program. You have worked with your brother and now with Coach Weber. It's kind of a friend situation there, a family situation on the sideline, but things can get heated. How does that work?
They can. You just have to dig through the trenches. It's an emotional game. A lot of things happen, and in the heat of the moment, you got to keep it cool.
You are very passionate about the game. Is that a message you try to get across to your players, that this game has to be played with some sort of passion?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's an emotional game, and it needs to be played as such.
BNL's secondary, 5 interceptions this season, and that's kind of your domain. How would you rate their performance so far?
Well, I'm going to rate it probably about 70%, because the position that they need to be in, we could be at 100% and no passes allowed on us. It comes down to detail.
You faced some good quarterbacks so far. Cam Northern at Jeffersonville, Alan Perry at Seymour. Did you like the way that you guys held up against their offense with your secondary?
Yes, yeah, I believe they've done pretty decent. Most of the time they stayed on top. We've got to get off the stop block and come up on the outside a little more often, but they've normally been in the right area.
BNL's coming off 3 consecutive losses in the Hoosier Hills Conference. Has the frustration of those close losses started to creep into practice or affected the team in any way that you've seen so far?
I think if anything, this week we've seen a little increase in enthusiasm. I think they know the outcome has set everybody back, and I believe that it's actually helped us out this week. They're starting to get a little more hungry and be more detailed.
Got their attention after the 2 easy wins. Did that really do the team that much good those first 2 weeks? I mean, yes, you got some confidence, and yes, you got the wins going, but in reality, did it help in the long run as far as the next 3 games?
No, it didn't. Sometimes you can get complacent in playing maybe a lesser game for you, and so you can create bad habits, and those will carry on to the next game. So we got to get back to the good habits and maintain.
Playing Jennings County this week, which has yet to win a game, 0-5. Like BNL has played a couple of close games. How important is a win going to be at Jennings County on Friday night for the rest of the season and get this team back on the right track?
Oh, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge factor for these guys, and especially, whatever coaching we have to do on the field, and then come back in on Saturday or Monday, whenever Coach Weber decides to have film, and try to clean up anything that might be array.
Coach Weber, what's he like to work with on a day-to-day basis? We've come to know him now over the course of 4 seasons here. Describe Coach Weber for us real quickly.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. I don't know of anybody else that knows X's and O's better than he does. He's real detailed, real passionate. I've been around him for 16, 17 years, and I don't know. I think he does an awesome job, and can't beat him on X's and O's and details.
Joe, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it. We'll be right back with 2 BNL seniors after this.
Whatever your needs, Bedford Ford Lincoln Roush has the right vehicle at the right price for you. For the best deals and the best service, come visit us today. Your vehicle problems will bite the dust.
Welcome back to BNL Coaches Corner. We are joined by 2 BNL seniors, defensive lineman Braden Tipton and linebacker Andrew Sue. Guys, after the strong start, 3 tough losses, what have you learned?
Well, we definitely learned that we can't overlook any team, no matter what the record is, what everyone's saying. You have to go into every game expecting to play the best team out there, and you have to come in and execute.
Did that kind of wake you guys up? Those three, I mean, two of those games very, very winnable. Coming down to the last play, that it kind of wake you up, and as Coach Hayden said, make you guys a little more hungry.
Yeah, it did.
What is the most fun about playing defensive line, Braden? I mean, you're in there in the trenches, and there's things going on we probably don't see a lot of, and things being said. What's it like in there for you?
Well, you just go out there and just hit the guy. You just try to put him on his butt.
Now, it's got to be a lot more fun to tackle somebody than it is to be hit the other way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Andrew, you had a bad shoulder. Went through some things with that. Describe the recovery from your shoulder.
Well, it was tough, to say the least. I had to learn how to use my other shoulder a lot more than the other because you want to protect that shoulder. A lot of rehab, and you could just go in there and lift heavy weights, and then once it's shoulder injury, you have to start decreasing the weights and increasing the reps and just working it back up.
Tough process, but worth the time to go through?
Definitely.
Who's been your role models in football? Everybody has their favorite team, their favorite player. Who are some of the players that you've looked up to as far as role models for your career?
J.J. Watt.
Why J.J.? He's a good player.
He's just a heck of an athlete. He just knows what he's doing. Do anything really on the D-line.
I'd have to say Khalil Mack. He's just unstoppable anywhere. You can bring him down to the defensive end position, and he dominates there. You can play coverage. He can everywhere.
How does a team psychologically bounce back from the three tough losses that you guys have had? I mean, it's tough, to get yourself motivated again. But is that going to be an issue this week? You think?
You just got to forget about it. You can't let it hang over your head. If you let it hang over your head, and then you're already defeated going into that next week. You just got to wipe the slate clean and just keep going.
Starts in practice. You got to hit. Practice starts. You go 100% everything.
Practice been a little tougher.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect from Jennings County? They're a young team. They lost a lot of seniors from last year. They've gone through some injuries. What do you expect on Friday night?
Well, I expect to see a team that's not going to lay down and just let us come in and take the win if we want it. They have some pretty big defensive linemen that I think are definitely going to be not an issue, but we're going to have to work. So it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, they're going to come to play. We're going to have to come to play too.
Guys, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll be right back with members of the BNL boys soccer team after this.
Get your feet moving and dance on down to Bedford Ford Lincoln Roush. Our selection, sales, and service are a hit. For the best in award-winning vehicles and quality care, cut loose and visit us today.
Welcome back to BNL Coaches Corner. We are joined by members of the BNL boys soccer team. Head coach Logan Jackson, seniors Cameron Anderson, and Ryan Reed. Stars are off to a 7-4-1 start. They have won 5 of the last 6 matches. Coach Jackson in his second season. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Logan, are you pleased with the progress as you're going through your second season?
Yeah, I think so. We have a lot of work, still left to do. I feel like trying to build a program, we definitely have a ways to go still, but definitely the work ethic, the commitment this year, and just the overall work from summer to now has been there, and we've improved. Even on the small things, we've improved. We still have a lot of work to do, but it's better, and I think our record shows that this year.
Your record definitely shows that. You were 6-8-5 last year. A lot of ties, which some fans can't get used to in soccer, but you're definitely on the right path so far. What's been the key to this recent hot streak in particular?
I think honestly, I think a little bit has to do with our confidence with playing our starting conference really well. I thought we had a good start in conference play, and I think when we have a couple easier teams that we've had these past few weeks, along with our conference games, we've been able to string together good play, and I think a lot of that has to do with confidence, and I think we're meshing pretty well right now as well. Everyone's kind of getting used to not only the positions that they're in, but they're learning the game as far as possession goes, keeping possession, moving the ball. And I feel like we're at the point where we're really starting to get into controlling the ball and looking to score.
Now that plays right into Cameron's field because as a midfielder. That's kind of what your job is keeping possession of the ball. Am I right in that? Because some people out there might not be soccer geeks like some of us, or me not knowing a whole lot about it. But describe your responsibility in the midfield.
My responsibility is basically receiving the ball and looking to progress up the field. And then possibly if an outside forward plays it back in, I'll be at the top of the 18-yard box, ready to rip a shot or something else.
So you do get some scoring opportunities every once in a while.
Yes.
And you have to take advantage of those. I mean, some of your guys are up there, getting a lot of the glory because they're getting all the chances to score.
Yeah.
Ryan, a defender. You're back in the back. Describe your job as far as what you're out there to do. Protect your goalie for one.
Well, my job, people say, is one of the most stressful out of all the positions. So I'm basically the line right before the goalkeeper to keep the ball out of our box and out of our goal. And it's kind of a new position for me this year. Haven't really played a lot of it, but I'm catching on. I think I'm doing okay.
Cameron, soccer is supposed to be a, quote, non-contact sport. I see a lot of contact out there going on, battling for possession. What's it like going through, battling for possession of the ball, especially in the midfield, because that's where a lot of that happens?
Yeah, you basically can't be hesitant. If you go in second guessing if you're going to win the ball, you're most likely going to end up being hurt by the end of it. So you basically just always have to be confident.
But there's also lines you can't cross as far as being too aggressive.
Yeah.
And so how difficult is that to kind of tone back when you know you have to tone back?
You just got to keep your arms down and go straight out for the ball. If you go in looking like you're going to be trying to take him out, then of course you're going to get called for a foul. But it's basically you got to find balance on how fast you run into it and how you hit the other player, but not actually trying to take him out.
Ryan, we see a lot of soccer highlights on television. You see people that look like they barely breathe on and they go down. What we call the soccer injury.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully you guys have never done that.
We have Alex Becker on our team. He's a master flopper.
Now, you can say that about him. He's sick and not here to defend himself.
He'll agree with us.
Now, is that part of the game as far as, hey, referee, I got fouled? Because it happens in basketball. It happens in other sports.
It happens. You see the flopping more in professional league, but I personally don't do that a lot because I like to keep the play fair.
Now, even if it doesn't look like you got hit, I would guess that getting kicked in the shins pretty hard, or other places are getting. I've seen a lot of people get, hit in the face with the ball with, for close range this year. It doesn't feel good.
It does not feel good.
Logan, the sectional draw is Friday. Looking forward to the postseason. What about the sectional draw? And you made it to the final last year. So what about your progress this year, and what are you looking forward to in the tournament?
Well, sectional draw. Yeah, we have that. We have first off 3 games left, so we'd like to build some momentum going to those sectional games. Hopefully more than one this year. Depending on the draw, you could play someone like an Owen Valley, which we played last night, or you could get a Bloomington South, who was returning almost all their players and was a semi-state team last year. So it's right now it's just kind of played by ear, and we'll have some time to prepare for basically whoever we draw. But we want to be competitive either way. We want to give, whether it's Bloomington South or whether it's more of Nolan Valley, we want to make sure we're prepared for it. And if it's one of those tougher teams, that's we always kind of harp and tell them, it's one game at a time. In the sectional, it's basically a new season, and we just want to go out and do the best we can and play our game if possible, and just try to win.
Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. That wraps up this edition of BNL Coaches Corner. Join us next week when we talk more BNL football and present another sport from the BNL athletic community. Until next time, thanks for watching.